Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the NHL qualification round. So today we've got the Rangers versus the Hurricanes, Penguins versus the Canadiens, Islanders versus Florida. What else do we got? We have Chicago versus Edmonton, and lastly we have Winnipeg versus Calgary. I'm going to do in-depth review, recap, reaction to the Rangers-Hurricanes game, as that was the first game I watched. The rest will just be quick little tidbits of what I noticed in the game, the goals, and my thoughts. So, here we go. I am absolutely loving that hockey's back. And the Rangers-Hurricanes, what a great game to start these playoffs. Big shock, though, is Shesterkin is unfit to play. So the Rangers have King Henrik in net. I guess it is a good thing New York has three quality goalies, because you never know what's going to happen. Mrazek is in for the Canes. Early on, a massive, huge hit by former Ranger Brady Shea on Jesper Fast. I don't think Fast ends up coming back in this game. Right away, this is playoff hockey. Not long after that, Jacob Slavin then scores 61 seconds into the game. So this is following the big hit, and just a beautiful finish. He gets the feed in the Rangers zone, and he finishes over the right shoulder of King Henrik. To be honest with you, Slavin has been absolutely brilliant the last few years, and this year he could or should win the Norris this year. He's been a brilliant player. Overall, perfect start for the Hurricanes, perfect start to the NHL playoffs. Rangers do have to answer back quickly. And what do we get? We get Mark Stahl absolutely crushing Nino Niederreiter. This game already, it's great. It's fast-paced, playoff hockey. It's here. Even without fans, just from this start, you know this is going to be good. Everyone is just throwing the body everywhere. Not long after that, Rangers are shorthanded early, and what happens is Strome gets by the D, Ryan Strome gets by the D, draws a penalty, and then him and Williams just start throwing bombs. Playoff hockey is definitely here. It was a great fight. Williams nails Strome with a good right and ends up bloodying Strome, but Strome ends up holding his own in the end, and I think he came out on top. He's the one who he knocked Williams down. So that was awesome. The physicality just continues to come throughout the period, with and without the puck. There was hits, interference calls, whatever. It's pure entertainment. I absolutely loved it. As we continue to go through the first period, Hedl does get a good chance on an odd man rush, but he misses the net when he tries to go to his backhand. And then counterattack and newly acquired Vincent Trocheck. Still can't believe he is on the Hurricanes. What a trade. He ends up ringing one off the post going the other way after a lovely little toe drag to the backhand. The King had no clue what was going on. It was a great counterattack. Again, what a brilliant pickup by the Canes, getting Trocheck at the deadline there. I still don't understand why Florida traded him. Rangers then get a power play around the 10-minute mark, but can't get anything sorted. The Hurricanes, their penalty kill is just on fire. Only thing that could be lacking in this game is that we're 12 minutes in and the shots are 1-1. And then what happens? There's finally a third shot, and it's a great chance by Sebastian Aho. Then Svechnikov misses the open net on the rebound. That was the third shot of the game, 12 minutes in. So that shots on goal, not very good, but the physicality is there. If the Hurricanes could actually hit the net, they could be up 3-0 on 3 shots toward the goal, but they just can't find the twine. Lundqvist makes some nice saves throughout this period. After that first shot, first goal, he kept the New York Rangers in it. The Hurricanes had high scoring chances on their limited number of shots this period. The game could have gotten way out of hand. With about a minute 30 to go, Brendan Smith absolutely destroys Nietzsche at center ice. But what happens leads to a 2-on-1 for the Canes, and the King stays strong. And the Rangers are able to cover and clear the puck. Risky play by Smith, but entertainment is heck. Big hit, but it could have been 2-0 Hurricanes because of the odd man rush, because he took Nietzsche out, but he also took himself out of the play. And the Hurricanes did have 3 forwards going. So risky play, worked out this time. Overall, Canes do come on strong in the second half of the first period. Shots end up 12-4 after the first. Score is 1-0. Second period now, and Carolina with another great penalty kill to start the second period. Mrazek looks solid. This will be a tough team to beat, not just in this series, but if they get past the Rangers, I could see them going all the way through. All around, they're just defensively sound. Fogle then gets a breakaway, but again, the King makes a massive save to keep it a 1-goal game. Carolina does end up on the power play, and Svechnikov from the sideboards, a beautiful slap pass one-timer, and it goes right to Aho. He saw him the whole way. Aho deflects it home, 2-0 Canes. Lovely, lovely play by the Carolina Hurricanes. Right after that, New York Rangers get on the power play. Their best chance is by DJ Zbad. He gets the chance, but he ends up trying to do the slap pass play just like Svechnikov and Aho did, but he just misses Kreider. If that is on Kreider's stick, it's an automatic goal. On that same power play, Carolina actually gets a chance shorthanded, but the Rangers take a penalty to stop the 2-on-1. That could have been a goal, so it was back to 4-on-4. In this period, the Hurricanes continued to be all over the Rangers. Good thing King Henrik played well. Even though he did lose the net a few times throughout the period, and he looked a bit shaky, he stayed strong. Rangers do then get back on the power play after Svechnikov accidental high stick, but again, can't really do much. Carolina's penalty kill has been brilliant this entire game. Closest chance was Gauthier. He comes close on like a high tip, but again, he misses the net. This then progresses into the Rangers starting to gain some momentum. Rangers are then with some great passing into the Kane zone, and Zibanejad ends up finishing off a Lindgren pass. It was like a slot tip, so Zibanejad went into like the high slot. He tips it. The Lindgren pass, nice top corner, and they cut into the lead. Amazing work by the Rangers. This all started with Buchnevich actual rush into the zone. Then the team had great puck possession, passing it around, getting into the open space, and DJ Zbad, he gets the tip. Nice goal. Rangers, well done. Let's go. We have a game. Rangers then get a power play right after, but again, the Canes stopped them in their tracks. The Hurricanes, their penalty kill looked amazing this game. I don't know what the Rangers need to do. They got to solve them. Just a note, this game, there was some weak calls throughout the game. Strome gets a hooking call at the end of the second, which I can't believe it was a call. It was bad, but it could have been also like a makeup call from the first period, because the Hurricanes got a call. I think it was for a slash, and honestly, it was the weakest tap on the gloves possible. So I guess they're calling everything like it's the beginning of the season. Who knows? But hopefully they can be consistent throughout, because if not, the players aren't going to know what they can or cannot do. So here we are. We're in the third period, and the Rangers pick up the pace in the third after hitting that roadblock that is the Carolina Hurricanes penalty kill. The pace picks up, and Mrazek has to be sharp early. Kakko gets a grade A scoring chance about 4 minutes into the third, but Mrazek's able to steer it aside. I like this Ranger pace. This is what they need to do throughout the game to open up Carolina. Throughout this period, there's some good defensive play made by both teams. The King ends up robbing Jake Gardner on a beautiful cross-crease pass, but an amazing blocker save. Henrik was in the zone. He was in the zone. Then Zibanejad, he's great on the penalty kill. as well. A couple of nice block shots. It's good to see your stars blocking the shots. It's also really good to see him getting the recognition he deserves this year. He just continues to get better and better, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets named the captain going into next season. A couple other notes. Dougie Hamilton wasn't in today, but Sami Vatanen played really well in his absence. He was a great alternative, generated a lot of scoring chances on the power play, really quarterbacked that. He played really well. So what happens? Rangers are all over Carolina, basically. And then Carolina gets on the power play. And what happens? Nietzsche scores at the end of the power play. He gets a one-timer from the sideboards. And the puck, it's along the ice. I think Stahl must have thought, oh no, it's another slap pass tip kind of thing. And he puts his skate in the way. What happens? The puck goes off his skate, goes right between Lundqvist's legs. And it's 3-1. Unfortunate for the New York Rangers. Not long after that, Canes get a 2-on-1. Svechnikov and Aho, two people you don't want to see coming down on your goaltender. But King is right back where he was before. He makes the amazing save, keeps the Rangers in the game. Rangers then, unfortunately, take a penalty late in the third period. And I was like, well, okay, this game's done. We'll write this game off. And Mark Stahl scores shorthanded. It's now 3-2. It deflects off Nino Niederreiter, and somehow the Rangers keep going. They're only down by 1. However, there's just not enough time left after that penalty kill. I think it was like 50-something seconds, and the Rangers aren't able to solve Mrazek again. They're not really able to get any chances, and Carolina holds on to the 3-2 win. Hurricanes, Game 1, win. Next up, we have the game and the series everyone has been waiting for. Here we go, the most anticipated series of 2020, the New York Islanders and Florida Panthers. Bobrovsky's in for Florida, Varlamov's in for New York Islanders. Let's just get right into this. We'll speed through this one. Bob looks good early on, which is a need for Florida. Varlamov looks great as well. What happens in the first? Newly acquired Jean Pageau. He ends up getting behind the Florida D, which happened in the exhibition game as well for Florida. Tampa Bay kept on getting behind them. So he drives the net. NHL 20 comes alive again in this NHL qualification round, or pre-qualification round, whatever this one is. And he finishes off a beautiful pass. Nice little one-time tip kind of thing. Yeah, and he scores. Florida lets another winger beat their D to the net. Not good. To finish off the first period, Panthers do get a few chances on the power play, but no dice. Can't solve Varlamov. Second period, Islanders get on the power play, and it's Beauvillier. He scores. There's some nice puck movement by the Islanders, and Beauvillier gets a one-timer, and it's just along the ice. Nice 5-hole goal. Bobrovsky, I think Weaver screened Bobrovsky, didn't see a thing. And as he was sliding over, the puck went through his legs. And there it is. It's 2-0 New York Islanders. Not long after that, Bobrovsky has to make an amazing save on Nelson on a 2-on-1. It was a great stretch by Bobrovsky going from post to post. Could have been 3-0. He keeps Florida in the game. We now hit the third period, and it's a great start to the third. And Huberdeau scores after a great zone entry. He picks up that puck, drives the net, nice little back, goes to the backhand, puts it 5-hole, and we have a game. That Bobrovsky save on Nelson in the second period was a big game changer. Florida makes it 2-1 to start the third. Both Varlamov and Bobrovsky continue to make really good saves, but Bobrovsky's the one who keeps the Panthers in it. Islanders with tons of high scoring chances in this third period. And Florida can't really get anything else done after getting that goal by Huberdeau. And that's how it ends. Islanders 2, Panthers 1. Islanders take game 1. They're up 1-0 in the series. Okay, here we go. Next up, we have Chicago and Edmonton. NHL 20 simulation says Edmonton wins the Stanley Cup. First, they got to qualify for the playoffs, though. It's expected by all the experts. They all say that Edmonton should take out Chicago. Chicago might be able to take a game or two, but it's Edmonton's series to lose. So let's see how this game goes. Surprisingly, Mike Smith gets the start for Edmonton. It's a surprise to me anyway. I figured Koskinen would definitely get the start. Smith hasn't been very consistent this year, but we'll see how it goes. Early on, McDavid on the power play. There's a nice screen out front, and he absolutely snipes. What a shot over top of I think it was the right blocker. Great shot. Good luck. You're not going to save that, Crawford. Nice try. 1-0 Edmonton. Not long after that, though, Mike Smith pulls a classic Edmonton Oiler, misplays the puck behind his net. Dylan Strome banks it off him, 1-1. Lack of communication with the defense. Smith makes the mistake. The Oilers make the mistake. That 1-goal lead is now done. Toews then scores on the power play after all of the Oilers collapse into one corner. Puck gets out to the front of the net. Toews has so much time and space to find the open spot. Goal, 2-1. Then quickly after that, Brendan Saad scores off a tip from the point shot, and this game has completely turned around and is all in Chicago's favor. And not long after that, it's Connor McDavid himself with the turnover in the corner, and it's Kubalik who gets the puck, and it's a nice. He goes around the net for a backdoor feed. Jonathan Toews is left wide open again. It's basically a guarantee now. Goal, and this game has completely turned around. Chicago is up 4-1. Second period now, power play for Edmonton. Corey Crawford makes some very nice saves. He does end up going swimming, though. Oilers get the puck over to McDavid. McDavid to Draisaitl, and he has the open net. Goal, a massive goal for the Oilers. They're within 2. However, Edmonton, I don't know what's going on, but not 2 minutes later, Kubalik scores on Chicago's own power play, gets a one-timer goal over the glove side. Beautiful shot. Kubalik is a stud. End of the second period, Kubalik then scores again off a tip from a Keith shot. This Kubalik guy, he is for real. He might not be like the same pedigree of Artemi Panarin, but do we have a similar player on our hands here in Chicago? I bet this time the Hawks do it differently and don't just, if he keeps this up, because he got 30 goals this year, if he keeps this up, probably going to do it differently this time around and not try to get the band back together and get rid of him because he's going to be too expensive. I think that they've learned their lesson from Panarin. Third period now, and not much goes on in the third period till like the very end of the game, where James Neal finally jams one home for the Oilers. There's about 4 minutes to go off, and it's off a broken play. Helps the Oilers, feel a little bit better, but really, Chicago's dominating. I think it was about 50 seconds later in that, RNH then follows it up with a goal, and he makes it 6-4. Okay, we got a game. But there's just not enough time left, and that's as far as the Oilers get. Chicago shocks Edmonton and takes Game 1. Big question for me, is it Koskinen's turn in Game 2? I think I'd put him in the net. Chicago 6, Edmonton 4. Chicago takes Game 1. They're up 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins against the lowly Montreal Canadiens, the team that has no business being in these playoffs. A NHL-style 500% team, 500 win percentage, team. Let's see how they do. A lot of people think this is going to be a sweep for the Penguins, unless Carey Price can steal a game. Will this be the game? Let's see. We got Matt Murray and Carey Price in for both teams, and early on, Penguins have the momentum, but Price stands tall. This leads to Montreal actually getting on the board first. After a point shot gets deflected and it bobbles around and it goes off Kotkaniemi. Wow, that's his name's tough to pronounce. Anyway, he gets pushed into the net. Puck kind of goes off him. He directs it in while he's falling in. Very smart play. Montreal is up 1-0. Then head to the second period, and that's when Suzuki makes it 2-0 for Montreal. He drives down the drives down the off wing, and he snipes it over Murray's glove. This kid is great. He's been one of the best players for Montreal in the second half of the year. He looked great in the game against Toronto. Big things are coming for him. Great player. Penguins then respond pretty quickly after this as they score on a delayed penalty. And this time it's Sidney Crosby scoring against Price. Puck goes to the side. Price is a little bit off his post. And Crosby, being the brilliant player he is, banks it off Price for the goal. To finish off the second period, Murray then stops Suzuki on a shorthanded rush. And right after that, the Pens reward him for his efforts as Rust shovels home a rebound. We're ending the second period. Penguins have made it 2-2. In the third period, Price remains solid, as does Murray. They both stop everything in the third. We're going overtime. In overtime, Murray makes a huge save on Jonathan Drouin, which would have shocked the hockey world if he scored and Montreal won the game. But then Jeff Petrie says, "Nah, don't worry about Jonathan. Hold my beer." And with 5 minutes to go in the first OT, he toe drags the puck around Brandon Tanev, picks the spot underneath Murray's arm. Goal. Canadiens win Game 1 in overtime, 3-2. Montreal is up 1-0 in this series. Wow. People said Price could steal a game. He did. Montreal played a lot better than expected. Pittsburgh may not have played as good as expected. But this is going to be a series. You never know. Just imagine if Montreal knocks off Pittsburgh and then Pittsburgh gets Lafreniere. But anyway, great game. Love overtime. Montreal's up 1-0.
Here we go. Final game of the day. We have the Winnipeg Jets versus the Calgary Flames. First period, Cam Talbot's in the net, Connor Hellebuck's in the net. Let's get going. Early on, Mark Scheifele gets injured. Tkachuk goes for a hit, and his right skate ends up cutting Scheifele. Looks like an Achilles injury. Absolutely awful to see. Scheifele's withering in pain. It's brutal. I'm hoping it's not too serious, because he has a long road ahead of him. If he's able to recover, it could be a career-ending injury. Let's hope he's okay. Back to the game, we get Kopp scores midway through the first period off a nice one face-off, which leads to a good cycle. Winnipeg's able to feed Kopp, who's out front in the slot. He scores glove side, 1-0 Winnipeg. Note, in this first period, both goalies looked really steady in net. There was just that one goal, but again, they were both steady in the net. Second period, Johnny Hockey finally solves Hellebuck on the power play after some nice saves by the Jets netminder. Gaudreau is able to pot the loose puck, and Hellebuck, he just can't dive over fast enough and get his glove on it. It's 1-1. Winnipeg then gets on the power play, but it's Tobias Reeder who gets this shorthanded chance, and it's a breakaway, and he has speed. We've all seen this before, and we know how it usually ends. So of course he missed. Oh wait, what? He scores. This is new. This is a new man. Reeder scores with the backhand, and Flames are up 2-1. Tobias Reeder is on the board. Calgary just ends up dominating this second period. Tkachuk ends up hitting the post, and a shift later, Backlund's able to beat Hellebuck, and the Flames take a 3-1 lead. The momentum has officially swung over to the Flames. Winnipeg looked like they had it in the first period. Second period has been all Calgary. Third period, not much really happens in the third. Calgary just keeps the pressure on, basically, and they keep the momentum. Winnipeg does get some power play time, but they just can't generate any high chances. In the end, Calgary holds on for the win. They get that empty net goal. Calgary solid in the second and third period, a well-deserved win. They take this game, and they are up 1-0 in this series. Brilliant game by Calgary. Hopefully Scheifele's injury isn't too bad. Let's pray that he's able to come back into this series. I still feel the Jets will take the series overall, but after game one, Calgary's up 1-0. And that's it for today. That's day one. What a brilliant start to the NHL qualification round. I had a blast. I am going to watch so much hockey, especially being in quarantine. I'm loving this. Bring on day two.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.